Hello, everyone. So this is Piracetam and Lion Diet Day. Check out the title because I didn't bother to keep track before I started filming. Because you can just look at the title, and sometimes if I try to keep track, I get it wrong. I'm like, oh, it was this day, but it was this other day, and then it's a different thing. So I got some bone marrow right here. Ate some last night. Slept like a baby. The goal of today, I'm going to do some eat, stop, eat kind of things because I feel like Piracetam just makes me feel so good, and Lion Diet makes me feel so good that I don't really feel like I need to meditate. So I have to force myself to meditate. I usually put it off till later in the day, and that's just silliness. And then I also don't fast as much because it's the same silliness. So didn't eat yesterday. Took Adderall Sunday, Monday. And that just made me, and I don't know, I'm trying to think about what these things are doing to my brain at the psychochemical experiential level. Like Adderall, so for instance, Adderall motivated me to get all into, I also got my steak here, so I'm just going to eat as much food as I can today. It's going to be like 6 pounds, but I figured, why not just talk while eating, because maybe not, because then I'll talk with food in my mouth, so who knows. But, what are these things doing? So, yeah, it might not be the best video to make while I'm eating, but I feel like so yesterday I got really into this idea of creating Devon's Pharmacopoeia, which is like a book I'm going to write about every single pharmacological substance that I find interesting and all of the details about them that I find interesting. And I was just like, it's kind of driving me nuts yesterday that I couldn't write it right now. I was like, I need to write this right now. And it's this sort of linear track of thought. I'll put it in terms of jujitsu. So I took Adderall before going to jujitsu, and I thought a lot about Adderall and jujitsu as these sort of different substances in jujitsu. Grappling competition, yada yada yada. Back in high school, I would always drink green tea before wrestling matches, which may have been the most effective strategy that I've ever devised. Is save your, well, I like green tea every day though, so maybe higher doses of caffeine, like caffeine pills, get saved for wrestling matches. Caffeine, a bit of theanine. Adderall before wrestling matches. I've taken Adderall before 2 jiu-jitsu tournaments that I did, and I have to say that it makes me, one of them I just wasn't prepared for. I still did fairly well, but I just wasn't prepared for it. My training was all off. Another one, both of these, my training was all off, which that says something. That does say something. That says that and then other times I competed off of Adderall, I never felt that fish out of watery. Adderall very much makes me have a one-track mind, whereas normally I'm kind of resistant to any singular track of doing something. Like, I just kind of like go around doing stuff. And it's all productive, it's all useful, and all fits into this big picture, but you have to kind of zoom out to see the big picture. And even I have to zoom out to see the big picture because it's not like linear. It's not like test these 100 bottles and then do this. Like, if that were to be something I was assigned to do, I would do that off of Adderall, but I would think about other stuff the entire time I was doing it, and I would sort of make it fit into the frame. So this is why I want to do the eat, stop, eat. One day eat, next day don't eat, eat the next day, don't eat the next day. I want to get the fasting chemicals to stimulate my brain, so I don't really want the stimulation from Adderall, because I don't think that the other effects of Adderall, I mean, I can also test varying dosages, but I feel like it comes out to similar things. Like, it kind of prompts me to adopt one train of thought, which I think is useful if I'm experiencing a severe amount of brain dysfunction. Like, when I got on Adderall, my gut was not, I was drinking energy drinks. I know, like, just it's so stupid, you can't possibly believe how stupid it is to be consuming artificial sweeteners. Like, why would anyone ever consume artificial sweeteners or make them legal or anything? Who knows? It's bizarre to me. But anyway, I was consuming them because I'm an idiot like the rest of you. And, yeah, this is why I want to write the pharmacopoeia, because I'm just like, well, but again, that's probably more of a down the line kind of thing that'll be a byproduct of my filing system, not a direct effort. So, and like, if I'd been on Adderall, that's why I think I didn't make any videos the last 2 days, because I was just on such like a one-track mind that it kind of throws off this flow. Like, when I'm doing the video, there's this flow I fall into, and this is sort of my natural flow of my stream of consciousness. Adderall disrupts that, and it makes the stream of consciousness like it's sort of like I don't know, it like forces my thoughts into one track and my actions into one track, and that helped me when I was on consuming these energy drinks with the artificial sweeteners, because I was just like agitated, tired, like they really threw me off. These things did a number on me. And then Adderall came in, and then Adderall allowed me to actually do stuff that I was thinking about. And that was really cool, because I was like, wow, I'm actually thinking about things and doing them. But what not being on Adderall allows me to do is to do stuff and think about other things, and to have that work if my brain's working. Piracetam seems to be helping that process very nicely. So with regards to Jiu-Jitsu, I feel like when I'm on Adderall, I'm much more focused on my game plan, but I'm much less fluid. Like, if I go for an ankle lock, I'm going to like, there's like a subtle point of failure where I'm like, oh, this isn't gonna work, and then I just quickly adapt to something else. Adderall takes that away a little bit, or because it makes me not, like, I'm more focused on completing the thing that I think I need to complete in the moment than noticing if I should just subtly shift to something else at an instant. But it does make me, I mean, when I say it makes me more focused, like right now I'm not on Adderall and I'm on Piracetam. Let's say I had to do jiu-jitsu against someone right now. I think I would do far better, actually. I think I would do far better right now. I think Adderall actually makes me worse at jujitsu. I may have just had the experience of Adderall making me better at jujitsu when I was taking it during COVID because I couldn't go to as many open mats at all and I had more limited options to grapple with people. And I would just do solo drills in my basement, and I got so amazing at these solo drills that anytime I was grappling someone, I would basically just start going through these solo drill motions, and they were so perfectly arrayed that they would just fall into my guillotines and rear naked chokes. It just worked on everyone, probably because they were also out of shape due to COVID as well. That could be a bias, but if I were thinking about this on Adderall, I would simply conclude that I need to do more solo drills. And I think that is the problem with Adderall. I also smoked weed when I was on Adderall because I was like, well, whatever, I just want to smoke weed right now. So I'm going to smoke weed. Well, I thought about it a bit and I was like, I got to go take my other steak out of the air fryer. But I thought about it and I was like, okay, I'm going to smoke weed. I'm going to see how this affects me. And I still meditated. I actually meditated much more when I smoked weed because I'm like, well, I'm high now, so if I don't meditate, I'm going to be not only stoned, but dysregulated and somewhat retarded. So I meditated, and I felt a lot better. And then I was like, there's really not much of a difference between me when I'm stoned and me when I'm sober. And I had no tolerance, so I was stoned off my ass. There's really not much of a difference between me when I'm stoned and me when I'm sober if I meditate. So I'm like, well, why not smoke weed then? It's like, well, the reason I don't want to smoke weed is because it kind of fractionates my mind. So I think what Adderall and weed do is... It's my beautiful ribeye roast. I love those things. They're delicious. So I think what Adderall and weed do is weed definitely calms my gut down. Like if I'm having gut issues, weed will often help settle my stomach. So then I have less gut issue going on, less interference from there. Adderall puts me on the one track mind, and then weed kind of scatters that a bit. So it's almost like I'm like, okay, I can pick between these different tracks, and then I can... It simulates in a less clean way what I'm experiencing right now, where I'm free associating, I'm thinking many different things at once, I'm stimulated. I mean, I've had Piracetam and a little bit of tea. Not that stimulated, really. I really haven't had any significant amount of caffeine today. Piracetam's not even a stimulant. But I was on Adderall yesterday, and Adderall kind of has a carryover of what will be stimulated the next day, and then I take Piracetam, and then I kind of keep that brain metabolism going, but in a different direction, and then I end up feeling very good. And it just alleviates any, any discomfort that would come from ceasing taking Adderall. I feel like the Piracetam sort of maintains the momentum, but via a different mechanism. So what you're seeing right now is you're seeing me open myself up to the cosmos of thoughts, the dimension of mind, and I'm picking at all these different things, and I'm saying, okay, well, what's the overarching pattern here? My mind is so reluctant to pick a pattern that it will just keep on spiraling out to different perspectives of what I'm thinking about until something clicks, like something jumps out at me and goes, this is the coolest, most interesting thing. You need to think about this continually. And then I'll just jump on that until I've come to a new perspective that I'll start then doing the same thing again. And that's just a byproduct of who I am and my own brain chemistry and neurology and interests and stuff. But Adderall and weed create this artificially, but then it also makes me tired and strung out. I mean, not really strung out. I'm not taking like crazy doses of Adderall or anything. I'm And I'm not like completely exhausted to the point where I can't do anything. I still do stuff. Like my daughter wet the bed, still have to take care of that. Still took care of that fine. But it's just like more. But one thing weed does do is it forces me to stop what I'm doing, and then I become somewhat dysfunctional because I'm high, and then I have to go through my functionality rituals like drinking tea, meditating, going for a walk, all this stuff. And that makes me more functional because I'll often not do those things because I feel so functional that I'm like, well, like for the last like few weeks, I've just been on Piracetam and not smoking weed. I would blow off my walk, I'd blow off my meditation until like later in the day. I did meditate every single day because that is actually what the meaning of. I have a tattoo on my arm. You probably noticed that if you watch my videos. The only tattoo I have. It's actually the meaning of the tattoo is to meditate every single day. There's a lot of meanings to it, but it's a reminder to meditate every single day. So, I just feel like an idiot if I don't, because I'm like, wow, man, you really got that tattoo to motivate yourself, to remind yourself, meditate every single day. And now you just have this fish eating the sun on your arm, and you're not meditating. So what gives there? Like you just go getting tattoos that mean stuff to not do it like a fucking moron. That's kind of how my internal thought process goes. So then I meditate, because otherwise I feel like a fucking moron, because that's why I got it, to feel like a fucking moron if I don't meditate. But meditating, I feel at peace with myself. It's because any part of my body must have a function. Body is function. Form follows function. So why is this on my arm? Because its function is to remind me to meditate. And remind me the importance of meditating. Meditating is such an important thing. And it's something that's not built into my body. It's not like I have to breathe. I have to eat. Like I get hungry. But like, what reminds me to meditate besides the growing feeling of insanity if I don't? Well, I have something on my body that literally is meant to remind me to meditate. So then when I act that out, it becomes part of the body of my being, and then I am unified. If I don't do it, then I'm just a dude with a fish on his arm, and I feel like an idiot. So make of that what you will. I mean, I speak somewhat hyperbolically, though I don't exaggerate. And you'll just have to get used to that. Like, everyone feels like somewhat of an idiot. I'm not implying that people with tattoos are idiots. I'm not implying that. Like, it's just like, I feel intensely. I have these, like, intense emotions that are rooted within systems of logic. And a note of that will be feeling like an idiot for having a fish on my arm and not meditating, because that's the meaning of it. Like if I gotten it via like some Brotherhood of the Fish in Tibet where I trained with Batman and it wasn't tied to meditating, I wouldn't feel that way because I would have a different story behind it. But I feel like an idiot if I don't meditate because of the story I told you. So yeah, but meditating, it makes me more, but then again, it also makes me fall off of other things and so on. So then I'm thinking about this whole thing and I'm like, well, performance doesn't come from drugs. Performance comes from health and fitness and having a really good environment. So really what I have to do is I have to have a really regular sleep schedule. I have to have a rituals and routines throughout the day that set me up for success. I have to treat myself like someone who just smoked weed without smoking weed. If I can do that, I'll conquer the world. Well, I'll conquer myself. And through conquering oneself, man conquers the world. So, yeah, I actually feel like Adderall, I'll experiment with that, though. I mean, that's something I'm going to experiment with. I'm going to probably experiment with low doses of weed and CBD. I might get a really nice weed vape at some point in the future. I'm just going to treat this like different implements of training. Like right now, I haven't trained with barbells for years. I've been training with kettlebells. My barbell lifts are still probably very good. I worked with them extensively when I was a teenager. I worked up some very heavy barbell lifts, a 555-pound deadlift, a 405-pound back squat, a 335-pound bench press. I had some great barbell lifts. But I don't train with barbells anymore. I do bodyweight exercises and kettlebells. I still focus on them the same way in order to get maximal strength output, but I don't use those implements. When I stopped using barbells, I started using these other implements. There was a lull. When I stopped using Adderall, I started using Piracetam as a lull. Similar to Gordon Ryan talks about different strategies of doing jiu-jitsu. He experiences a decrease in performance as he tries out new things, and then he experiences an increase in performance as he figures out how to implement the new thing. I will say, okay, I have been training my mind with weed and THC and this specific concentration from this source with this ratio of CBD and these terpenes administered via this method at these frequencies and doses for this amount of time. I will cease to do that, and I will train my brain with Piracetam and discipline. Maybe in 6 months, 2 years, whatever, I shall come back and I shall implement a different protocol or try out various different things. Maybe I'll try out Adderall again, see how that impacts my performance in various different things. Document all of this. Make this information available to you lovely people so that you can have some understanding of how these things affect the individual who is Devin Young, who you are watching. So, and that'll help you have insight into where to look in your own life, because you're seeing me figuring these things out, and then you can say, well, he figured these things out this way. How could I figure these things out in my own way? And that's kind of how I want to see it. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm never going to consume alcohol again, because I think that I think that consuming alcohol while not sleeping this past time is the only time I've ever done that. I think that's the reason I have 2 cavities in each of my wisdom teeth. And I don't want that. So, like a soda, which I've never consumed again, probably never going to consume alcohol again. Now, if there was some beverage that was fermented and blah, 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 and there was some reason to, maybe I would. Maybe, probably not. Maybe. I mean, I'm thinking about doing a recrystallization of the Piracetam in vodka, and I want to do a test to make sure the vodka there's nothing in the vodka that's going to give me insomnia, because I've previously gotten insomnia from vodka. So, probably calling manufacturers, maybe take a little sip of the vodka, see what it does. I don't know. I don't really want to do that, but maybe I'll do a different method of recrystallization. I won't use vodka. I don't know. I don't want to consume alcohol. I don't like alcohol. I don't like what it does to me. It's just shit. Like, in my personal opinion, alcohol is just shit. I don't want it. I think it's literally like the metabolic byproduct of aging that makes you age faster. Like, it can be gone, as far as I'm concerned. So, weed doesn't quite fit into that category, because I don't think it's quite as terrible, though I do think it is majorly disruptive. And I wonder if the endocannabinoid system is very fascinating. I mean, this is also why I want to do the fasting, because as the weeks progressed without weed, I started feeling like I was sort of, I don't know, I started feeling the feeling that I associate with an understimulated endocannabinoid system. Because I've taken CBD before I smoked weed, I've done these sorts of things, and I'm like, well, I could have experimented with low-dose CBD oil. I could fast, which increases my body's own production of anandamide, which is a natural cannabinoid. There's things I can do. I can consume fermented tea, which will improve my gut microbiome, which will help my own body's natural production of endocannabinoids. These are all things I can do. Because after I smoked weed, I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, last time I smoked weed, I wasn't sleeping. I hadn't slept for a few days, so it was a different experience. This time, everything was going well. I'm like, okay, I'm just stoned. I'm going to be tired later. What's really the net effect of this? I'm like, I just stimulated my endocannabinoid system. I'm like, is this bad? It doesn't feel that bad. I mean, I took some CBD with it. It felt kind of balanced. Like, it makes me tired. Like, what if I experimented with different doses of this and different activities and measured my performance during those activities? Like, what would be the point of that? I don't know. What if I did it in conjunction with meditation or to get some sort of contrast training in there, like once a month, once every 2 months? Like, I don't know. It might not be bad. Like, I don't know. This isn't. I'm like, what if I vaped it instead of smoking it? I'm like, probably be better too. Low temperature vape. I can experiment with that. I mean, I start thinking. Gears started turning, and I was just like, I'm not like anti weed. I just think that it's great for like stability. Like if you want to never do anything, smoke a lot of weed and don't do anything else. I don't know though. I think about John McAfee's sentence where he was like, "When I was dealing drugs, I always liked the weed smokers because they never went anywhere, never did anything." And I'm like, I just got really high and I watched Battle Royale, which is an experience. It's a great movie. Oh my god, like, oh my god, that's an awesome movie, Battle Royale. I recommend everyone watch that. If you're gonna smoke weed, like if you're gonna watching Battle Royale stoned, it's like, oh my god, it's awesome. So, but I also get distracted in the process of doing it. It makes me very distracted. I'm like, what is weed good for? What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Ba-da-ba-boo-ba-boo. I don't know. I'm kind of putting all these things together, though. That's why I like jujitsu. I need jujitsu. It's the central theme that keeps all these things together. Because I'm really trying to optimize my performance in jujitsu, which is really like the best metaphor for life. So, I don't know. I mean, yeah, when I was on Adderall the last tournament, and then I smoked weed in the middle of the tournament, I did bad. Like, it kind of, yeah, I mean, I think I just do jujitsu better, but I feel better now. I feel more stimulated now on Piracetam without taking stimulants than I did 5 days ago on Piracetam without taking stimulants. Oh, how could that be? Because I didn't eat yesterday. It's natural norepinephrine production that comes from fasting. So I'm trying to put these things together so I can just take Piracetam and a little bit of caffeine in my green tea and pour. Yeah, delicious. Call it Trinity. And yeah, just do that. I think that is nice. Yeah. So I'm gonna eat all this food now. I'm gonna eat the bone marrow. That made me sleep like a baby. Just ate a bunch of raw bone marrow last night while I was fasting. Well, not a bunch. I just had like one bone's worth. And I was looking at it and I was stoned and I was like, this was a cow. Now it's a part of me. So, yeah, I mean, I write better off of Adderall on Piracetam. Probably eventually just phase out Piracetam and just fasting and maybe little bits of Piracetam. I don't know. I want to study this stuff. I mean, I think I probably have like plaque in my brain from all the not sleeping. So maybe that's why drugs make me feel good. Like Piracetam, Adderall, weed, these with caffeine, lots of green tea. Like, why do I need to take all these things? Like, I don't know, probably just damage. I feel like I have brain damage from not sleeping. Kind of stinks, but I mean, it's getting better. So it's nothing I can't manage. Thinking about these things, but like plaque buildup, like I wonder like what Piracetam does for amyloid plaque buildup in the brain, lipofuscin amalgams, you know? So I think about this, I think about it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like jujitsu is a puzzle best solved without Adderall because I'm more observant of the whole rather than fixated on the part. Weed is a shoddy solution for that. That comes with fatigue and the need for more stimulants. I used to, when I was doing jujitsu on Adderall and weed back during COVID, I would chug an energy drink and then rip the bong. And that was kind of my pre-jits ritual. And it worked well, but I was also like a lot more in practice. And I hadn't been doing Adderall for as long. I hadn't been taking Adderall. I hadn't been prescribed Adderall for as long. So yeah. Strong like bull, fierce like tiger, clever like monkey, patient like spider. That's really all I have to remember for jujitsu. Just focus on that, then it's all good. It's a mantra I can just repeat to myself while I'm doing jujitsu. Strong like bull, fierce like tiger, clever like monkey, patient like spider. It's a freaking quote for life. And that's a Devin original, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm quite concerned with whether or not it's a Devin original, so it is. One of the key characteristics of Sherlock Holmes was his willingness to sit down in silence, uninterrupted, and think. I leave you with that.